I'm Spencer.
And I'm Laura, and we're Married with Board Games. Dresses and coats and fireworks, oh my. You've just been put in charge of managing the most prestigious ball of the Rococo era when holding a lavish ball was quite trendy.
Important personalities are turning to you with their requests, and you have to juggle them all in order to come out on top as the most successful ball manager of the era.
Thus is the challenge in Rococo, a Euro-style board game with many ways to win. So is the pathway to victory as glamorous as it sounds?
Let's find out.
This edition of Rococo is published by Eggert Spiel and Eagle-Gryphon Games. It's for 2 to 5 players with a time range of about 60 to 120 minutes, depending on player count.
Now, the game isn't too complex, but it would take quite a bit of time for us to tell you how to play, so instead we're going to give you a basic overview and give you our thoughts. If you want to learn how to play, there are many resources available to you at BoardGameGeek.com.
So here's the overview. Players will use their employee cards to perform actions such as collecting resources for clothing, making dresses or coats, funding decorations, hiring more employees, or gaining the Queen's favor.
If you decide money is more important than your employees, you can always depute them and gain their monetary value. Players perform these actions over 7 rounds, after which points are totaled up and a winner is announced.
Let's take a closer look at what comes in the box. These are components for Rococo. We'll start with the board here, which is absolutely gorgeous. It depicts the palace of King Louis XV, and all of the halls are set for the ball and ready to go. It's just so pretty to look at. This side is for 2 to 3 players. If you flip the board over, that's where you play with 4 to 5 players. Over here are the property tokens. Each player picks which color they want to play with, and you will also get the corresponding starting employee deck, which has the matching color of your property tokens, and you get another matching player board that I love. They are very useful. They help you remember what each employee can do. We'll talk about that more later. Here are our dress options for you to choose from, and they're kept in this really nice little bag, and they're drawn out each round at random. This shows you what materials are needed to assemble this dress. For instance, this one needs 1 thread, 1 lace, and 1 bolt of red silk. You can either rent it out to get 2 prestige points, or you can sell it to get 16 livres. Over here are those materials that you need in order to assemble the dresses. They are random and are pulled out each round. Obviously, they all have different things on them. Like this one only has 1 bolt of blue silk. This one has 2 bolts of green silk, or you can get lace. You have to decide which component you want to get from that. The lace and the thread are here, thread being gray, and the white is the lace. This is the first player token. That gets passed around the board, or it can be secured if anyone secures the Queen's favor whenever they're hiring employees. Those are prestige markers there, and these are our livres, which are so satisfying to punch out, I must say. You can gain these by selling your dresses, or you can lay them on particular spots on the board that have that bonus. There are also all of these other employee cards that you don't start with, but you can acquire them through each round. This one is a master. You can see the gold thimble there. This one is an apprentice, and he has, I think it's either like a tin aluminum, or I'm not exactly sure, just a basic thimble. And then this is a journeyman. The only person who can't build a dress is the apprentice. And there are special spots on the board where only a dress built by a master can be placed. So that's how that is also comes into play and how it's important for you. We can also fund musicians and decorations. Here it shows you how much it takes to fund that decoration, and then you can get those prestige points there in each round.
All right, so since you have a basic overview of how the game is played and what comes in the game, here are our overall thoughts. What do you think?
I really enjoy this game. I love the artwork and the theme because I love history, and it's just so pretty.
You love that kind of costuming. Any kind of period show she always is commenting on the costuming.
Yes.
But you know what? I agree with you. I mean, not on the costuming, but I love this game. It's fun. I've said it before, I've never had this much fun making dresses. I've never had fun making dresses, actually, because I've never made a dress. But it's a good game. It's fun.
Yes.
You know, everything from all aspects of it we like. The components are great quality. I mean, you've got the wooden pieces painted well. The cardboard's good quality cardboard. Cards are good quality. I can't think of any kind of...
And I like the gameplay. I like that there are just so many different ways for you to gain prestige points or to gain money. And I think it's so interesting to play with just the two of us, or we play with several people and just see what they come up with.
Right, I think that was a good point. You know, this works great not depending on player count. 2 players, it was great. We had a lot of fun. But then when you add those extra players, it's still just as fun. And it gives you more people actually that might take the dresses that you want.
Or employees.
Or the decoration. I really wanted that statue.
Yeah, that does make it harder when it comes to... You've got to get to some of these decorations before somebody else does, because some of them are like a multiplier on how many prestige points you'll get at the end of the game, depending on like how many dresses you've put out there or how many other decorations you've funded. And so it's like a race to get there first, like particularly the fountain or with some of these statues.
Right.
And so you gotta get, and if you get there earlier, you pay less money to fund it, and so you gotta get there quick.
Well, and because of that, it makes the replayability of this game really great. There are lots of different strategies to explore. Every outcome is different because it is a race. You know, someone might get to that element before you this game.
And even how you talked about, we keep a log of our gameplays, and the time before the most recent game that we played with our friends, we all scored up in the high 80s, and in this most recent time, only one person did, and the rest of us were down low, and we don't know what happened.
Right, I mean, we felt like we played the same way, but that just shows you how different the game is every time you play. And what's another thing that's really great about this game is the turns aren't too long.
Yes.
You do what you want to do, and it goes on to the next person, so you're not sitting there forever waiting on your turn. And so it makes it feel like it's going by pretty quick. So bottom line, I mean, would you say there's anything negative we'd have to say about this game?
You know, I don't know that it's necessarily a negative. It's just something that's expected with games. It takes a little while to learn it. That's about it, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. There is a little bit of complexity to it just to understand the concept of what's happening. But once you get it, it's down. It's not that hard to really let it sink in and be able to play the game from there.
Definitely.
I never thought I'd enjoy preparing for a ball as much as I do when I do it in Rococo.
This is just one example of how, even though you might not be interested in the theme, you can still enjoy the game. It's that fun.
So don't be like one of those snooty upper-class ball attendees and turn your nose up at Rococo just because you make dresses. Anyone can find something they like here.
We're going to box this one up for now. Be sure to reach out to us with any questions or comments.
You can do that on Instagram and Twitter @MarriedWithBG, or visit our website, marriedwithbg.com.
Thanks for watching, and we're late for the ball.
Oh my!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.